us two can keep a secret if one of them is dead.
Hey guys, so last night was the third episode of the second half of the second season of Pretty Little Liars. I think the episode was called, like, Let the Water Hold Me Down or something like that. Let's review. The episode starts with the four girls sitting in front of a fireplace. I'm pretty sure it's at Hannah's house. And Hannah's just kind of, covering from the night. And they're basically just talking about what happened. They're just like, oh, I can't believe Lucas would do that, and I never pictured him to be so violent, and that kind of thing. And that leads to Hannah telling them about how he was the one who destroyed Allison's memorial, which I'd completely forgotten about. So I wonder if that being brought up again means that it's significant, like it's going to be like a big thing or something. So yeah, like I said, basically they're just talking about what happened, and then at one point Hannah's like, oh, I have a headache, I need to take something. So she gets an aspirin and she grabs a water bottle from her purse, and before she realizes it, she takes a huge gulp of dirty lake water. And I'm sorry, I realize that it's a show, but she totally would have seen that it was lake water before she took a drink. Then of course she gets the infamous A text and the opening titles begin. The next scene is in Hannah's kitchen, and it's Hannah, Emily, and Hannah's mom. And they're basically just talking about how Lucas is missing and, where is he and all that. And Hannah says something about how Lucas called her and how she talked to him on the phone and how he talked to his parents on the phone. And my question is, can't the police trace those calls and find out where they're coming from? I mean, maybe not, but that's just how I feel about it. The next scene is at Spencer's house, and it's the four girls, and they're going through the stuff that Spencer found in the attic at the lake house, which is like 3 phones, something else, I think, and then a receipt from this place called Smitty's, which is in Philly. So then Spencer and Aria are like, okay, well, we'll go to Smitty's and see what it has to offer. Let me just say, Aria looks fabulous in this. She's got like her red furry vest on and her beige shirt and her cool necklace. She's always got cool stuff. And she just is being Aria. And I know it's probably not going to get brought up again, but Spencer, enough is enough with the stupid beef with Hannah about her fraternizing on your Nana's freaking couch. Like, done. The next couple scenes are at the school. And the first one is Spencer and Aria are at one of their lockers. And then Holden comes up to Aria and proceeds to ask her out on a date, to which she accepts, to which I highly dislike. Team Ezria all day, every day. Next thing is Hannah and Mona are walking down the hall, and Mona's talking to Hannah about how her and Noel are in some kind of fight, and Noel seems distant or whatever. And let me just say that I do not believe this whole skinny dipping thing for 1 second, like they just happened to go for a dip while Hannah was basically dying. Convenient, right? Psych. Then Mona gets pissed because it doesn't seem like Hannah really cares, which I know if I were Hannah, I wouldn't care. I got way more shit going on than you, little miss. Then the whole homecoming picture thing, like, I guess it's realistic. I mean, I understand the whole thing about them not wanting a convict on their wall, but that just seems really random to me, why it's even in the scene. I just kind of didn't get it, but whatever. The next scene is Maya and Emily talking on the phone, and Maya is just being a dirty, dirty lesbian, and she's being all weird because she's getting phone calls that we can't see, so we don't know who's calling her, and she's just letting them go to voicemail and being all suspicious. Then Spencer and Aria are talking again, and Spencer is getting tickets to the train that will take them to Philly, and Aria is getting tickets to some play that her and Holden are going to go to. And her reasoning for picking that particular play is because she thinks Ezra's going to be there. And I guess she considers that a good thing. Maybe it's just me, but the whole idea of going on a date with another guy to a place where I think my ex-boyfriend's going to be, especially when he's not even really my ex-boyfriend, doesn't really seem like a good one to me, but whatever floats your boat, Aria. The next scene is in Hannah's kitchen again, and Hannah and Caleb are fighting because Caleb wants to go look for Lucas because he doesn't know anything about what Lucas did at the lake house and like what he said on the boat and stuff. He just knows that Lucas is missing. So he wants to go look for him. Hannah doesn't, obviously, because she's scared, but she can't tell Caleb that, so Caleb's like, oh, you're keeping things from me, what's the deal? So they're fighting. And Caleb looks super hot in a v-neck, by the way. The next scene is Spencer and Aria in Philly, they find out that Smitty's is just a newspaper stand, and they can't find any trace of A. They can't find any kind of evidence or anything that would link them to A. So they're like, oh, I guess this is just a wash, you know, whatever. So then Aria's like, all right, well, I have to go meet Holden for my date. But of course, not before Spencer asks if she wants to go grab coffee first. I swear, there should be drinking games for how often these girls ask if they want to go get coffee, are drinking coffee, are holding a coffee cup, are going out to get coffee, or saying the word coffee. They love coffee. They just really love some coffee. So then Aria leaves, and Spencer's about to leave when she sees a girl being led by a seeing eye dog. So instantly she thinks of Jenna and is like, oh, well, I should follow this person and see where she goes. And turns out she goes to a rehabilitation center for the blind. So that's where she ends up. Next scene, Emily and Maya are at the crisis hotline for some reason. I guess Emily had to pick up something or whatever. And then Maya's basically just being really weird again with her freaking phone. Back at the rehab center, Spencer goes up to the front desk and asks about Jenna. And the lady at the front desk is just a huge bitch and tells her nothing. So Spencer's about to leave when some blind guy sitting in the lobby is like, oh, you need Jenna Marshall? I know her. And it's actually really creepy. Back in Hannah's kitchen, Emily and Hannah are talking, and Hannah's telling her about the fight with Caleb, and Emily's telling her that she's worried that maybe A has started to text Maya now. Back at the rehab center, Spencer is talking to the blind guy. I don't remember if they gave him a name or not, and if they did, I didn't catch it. But he's telling her about Jenna, and from what I understand, unless I missed something, he tells us nothing that we don't already know about Jenna. Like, I mean, I could have missed something, but I don't think I did. I'm pretty sure we gained nothing from that conversation. So then Spencer's about to leave, but then the bitch at the front desk has to be a bigger bitch and be like, oh, no, 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 you sat in the lobby, you drank coffee, you're a visitor, sign your ass in. So my first thought is, okay, Spencer's gonna put down a fake name. Obviously, she's not gonna put down Spencer Hastings. But no, instead, she has huge balls and goes behind the front desk when she's not looking and takes Jenna's medical records. Like, these girls are so freaking what? But I mean, you go girl, nonetheless. So then we get to Aria's date with Holden, and they're waiting in line for their tickets for this play. And does anyone else think that this Holden guy totally looks like he could be a younger Ezra, like when Ezra was 16 years old? Like, maybe it's just me, but his hair and, like, not his face, but his hair and, like, the way he's dressed and his love for art and theater and Aria. Then we see that Ezra is totally there, like she wanted him to be for whatever reason, but he's there, and they meet eyes and everything. But did anyone else think that Jackie was totally going to be there with him? Because I did, and I was about to. The next scene is Spencer getting off at the train station, so she's back in Rosewood, and it's a totally creepy scene. Like, she's in a deserted alley, and there's, like, green lighting, and I think even a little bit of fog. Special effects, whew. But it's only Mona. So Mona comes up behind her, and they kind of have, like, a little heart-to-heart, which is sort of nice. You know, she starts crying because Noel broke up with her, and Spencer gives her the whole, you can get any guy you want, you don't need a man to make you happy speech, and the whole scene is just kind of nice. But I really do think that something is up with Mona and Noel. Like, I don't know, something's just not right there. I don't think he broke up with her just because she's a bitch. Then we're back on Aria's date, the play's over, and they're talking to this friend that Ezra had brought with him to the play, who wasn't Jackie, by the way. Whew. And apparently he left like 10 minutes in because he didn't feel good. We don't know why he didn't feel good. Back at Hannah's house. Thunder, lightning, rain, broken latch on the back door, muddy footprints in the house, all bad things. Then we see Maya and Emily's date. They're waiting in line for this concert that they're going to, and Maya comes clean about the whole phone thing. She explains why she's been so weird. Apparently she hooked up with someone when they weren't together, which I don't understand why that's even important, but whatever. She tells her the truth, and she's like, yeah, but, you know, he just can't get over it. So, you're bi. Good to know. Back on Aria's date, Holden is like, yeah, I totally saw the way you were looking at Ezra. How long have you guys been together? So he knows. And he's like, but don't worry, I won't tell your parents that he was here. We all have secrets that we want to keep from our parents, even myself. So obviously he's keeping something, and I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm going to say that he's gay. And that he's using Arya as an alibi for being straight, like she was using him for an alibi to see Ezra. We'll see. Back at Hannah's house, turns out the footprints were Lucas's. Shocker. So Lucas and Hannah are upstairs in her room, and he's like, calm down, don't be scared, let me explain, yada yada yada. And that's when Caleb comes in and runs upstairs to save the day, even though it turns out that nothing needed to be saved because we were all completely wrong about Lucas. He's not crazy after all. He just has a gambling problem. A gambling problem, really? And the funny thing about this is my friend Kaylin totally called this, and she's been sticking to it like he's gonna have a gambling problem, and the whole time I'm like, okay, Kaylin, okay. So yeah, apparently he had bet like $4,000 of Caleb's money on a basketball tournament or something, and that's what the whole conversation on the boat was about. That's what the whole conversation on the crisis hotline was about. So you got us, Lucas. Then in one of the last scenes, the four girls are in someone's kitchen, probably Hannah's, and Spencer pulls out Jenna's sign-in book from the rehab center, and they find out that Garrett had checked out Jenna the same night that Allison went missing, and then they never checked back in. Ooh. Then in the final scene with the black glove A hands, you see whoever it is loosening screws on some kind of platform or whatever. But if you watched the season preview, you know that that is definitely what Toby falls off of, and I'm just really hoping that he doesn't die, because I really like me some Toby. Okay, so that was the first review of this season. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you feel informed, and I will see you guys next Tuesday. Bye!
'Cause two can keep a secret if one of them is dead.